come in, and the first thing we're going to talk about today is reverses on our way to equal level conversion. And this is a hand that fairly common, right? I'm sure you've seen hands like that in the past. And there's no choice which you have to open it, right? Play 5 card majors. Everybody bids 1 diamond. And typically, since you're short in spades, what your partner is going to bid almost for sure. They're going to bid a spade back to you. What's your bid? Now, if you're playing online, you just let the clock run out. But if you're playing in person, they make you bid. So what's your bid?
Well, you want to bid 2 hearts, but it's the reverse.
Right. 2 hearts is the reverse. And what does 2 hearts show?
17, right?
Either 17, yeah, because the reverse is 17 plus. That look like 17 to you?
Not today.
No. And why it's a reverse? Back to your partner, right?
Yeah.
You know, almost for sure he doesn't have 4 hearts, or he would have bid them before the spades, right? Unless he happens to have
Unless he has
5
5
spades.
spades and
Correct.
4 hearts.
Right. But the odds are he doesn't have hearts. Maybe he'll have 3 hearts. And even if he does, if he has a couple diamonds, he'll probably put you back in your first suit, right?
None of that if he's got,
And there you are at 3 diamonds with a partner who has 2 diamonds in their hand. You think you're making that contract? Never, or almost never. You're forcing your partner up to the 3 level by reversing. That's why you need 17, at least 17, just like you said. That's why you have the, otherwise your partner bids 3 diamonds, and the worst thing is you're gonna actually now have to play it. And you are rarely gonna make 3 diamonds when your partner has like 7 points and you have 13 and you have 7 diamonds between you. So, although you'd like to bid 2 hearts,
Bid a no.
you're forced. You're forced to bid 1 no. The partner should be aware that you don't necessarily have no trump distribution. The gun was to your head. You had to show you didn't have 17 points to reverse. Your diamonds weren't good enough to rebid, right? How many diamonds did you have to say? 2 diamonds?
6.
6, right? So you're not going to say 2 diamonds. You're forced to bid 1 no trump, and your partner should be aware of that. Okay, I have a minimal, come on, I have a minimal opener, but I'm not promising stoppers, I'm not promising flatness, I'm promising a minimal opener, and I got diamonds, and I'm not telling you what else, because I can't. So that's why when people say I don't play reverses, sure you do, you just play them wrong.
I don't like reverses.
Well,
That's our
the
motto.
point is, you can't,
That's Ron and I's motto.
yeah.
But
Everybody plays reverses, some play the quarter, that's us.
Yeah,
I'm with you.
if you bid 2 hearts, you just sunk your partnership.
Yeah.
And depends who you're playing with, whether they get mad at you or not. Okay, so anyway,
Jeff,
you are forced to bid 1 no trump even though you don't like it.
so what if there's also, I think, you know, whether it did to 2 hearts, look at, you're searching, if you're not finding a fit, can you be in no trump? And you're letting them know you have some controls
Yeah,
in the next suit. So there's a possibility he may have clubs.
yeah.
And then you feel like you could be there.
Yeah,
And
well,
yet just showing 1 diamond and 1 spade doesn't show me enough to feel that I'm comfortable being in no trump.
Yeah, and you're right, basically, your partner can pass one no trump, it's not a forcing bid.
Right.
It's just a bid showing, I got a minimal opener, and I don't have another bid. And the good thing about one no trump is you're only at the one level, right? Even if they're gonna run a suit against you, unless they're running 7 of them, you have a chance to make it.
Right.
So, but a lot of people bid 2 hearts because, and one of the key things about bidding, think about your next bid before you make a bid at that time.
Plus at one no trump, like, unless they've got 7 clubs, you're probably gonna make it, because you've got the other 3 suits pretty much controlled.
Yeah, there's a good chance you'll make it, it just depends how weak your partner is. Like if they stretch the big 1 spade, you might not.
Correct.
Okay. There's an exception to the reverse rule that we've just been talking about. And it's a fairly common one. And people who are fairly serious about bridge, you don't have to ask them if they're playing it, because they play it. It's not like a convention where, like, do you play Kroll and Stayman, right? You'd have to ask. Here, you don't have to ask. If you're playing with a good player, you could bet they're playing equal level conversion, ELC. You might see that abbreviation. And this is the example where equal level conversion works. The opponents bid a heart. Of course, you only got 2 of them. You count on them to bid a heart. Them or your partner. Somebody's got the hearts, right? They're all dealt out. So it's the heart. And then, you know, if you didn't know what equal level conversion is, what would you do with this hand?
2 diamonds.
You could go 2 diamonds. You know, it is a reasonable bid. And if you do that, I'm almost for sure what's going to happen. You're going to lose the spade suit if your partner has spades, right?
Right.
Because 2 diamonds, most of the time, if they bid a heart and I bid 2 diamonds,
Denying
I don't
the
have,
card maybe.
well, it's, most of the time I don't have spades because I'd like to get the spades in. And when I say 2 diamonds, I'm not inviting you to play spades, right? To bid spades. And especially if you have 4 of them, and I didn't invite you, you'd be looking for a new partner next time, right? Like, the good thing is I wouldn't be playing it. But anyway, with equal level conversion, the key to it is shortness in clubs. It's you can double a major suit opening with shortness in clubs.
Not shortness in diamonds, shortness in clubs only?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And the reason for that, so this is exactly that, right? They bid a heart, and you would really like your partner to bid a spade. So if you play an equal level conversion, you wouldn't bid 2 diamonds, right?
Right.
And you do have an opening hand, and you really hope that your partner has 4 spades, right? That's the golden fit, 4-4, right? In a major. You would double. And they'll pass, and then it's up to your partner. Well, a good partner would do it spades, but good partners are hard to find. So if they bid spades, you'll be so happy, right? Because it's just what you were hoping for, right? But you don't have a good partner and your partner bids 2 clubs, which you can almost tell would happen because you're short in clubs. There's 11 clubs dealt out around the table, right? It's more likely your partner's gonna have clubs and spades because there's only 9 spades outstanding and 11 clubs. So your partner who you're planning on getting rid of next time, instead of bidding spades, you know, they bid clubs. And of course, this guy doesn't take you off the hook, right? He passes, now it's you. You're back to having to make a decision. And this is the time when you would bid, what do you think with equal level conversion?
Would you bid 2 hearts, seeing if he has a stopper in hearts, so you could, you know, sign off in no trump, low level? Because you have one stopper, but you'd like another.
Yeah, but on the other hand, you got a minimal hand here. Unless your partner has an opener, you don't really want to be in 1 no trump. Or in 3 no trump, right? So we need more than a stopper. We need a good hand over there, right?
I think you bid the diamonds. Bid the
Right,
diamond- bid the
that's
diamonds,
that's
yeah.
why it's called equal level conversion.
Two
Now you bid 2 diamonds. When you bid 2 diamonds, when you're playing equal level conversion, all you're saying is, I got diamonds and the other major, choose. That's what equal level conversion means. Which exactly describes this hand. So if your partner does have whichever he would like,
You
he
can
could
tell him to
still,
pick.
you could still play it at the 2 level, right? He could just pass 2 diamonds, right?
Or bid 2 spades.
Or he could bid 2 spades, so you could get out at the 2 level, which you like to get out at. And it only works when you're doubling a major and you have shortness in clubs. But it comes up a fair amount. Like a lot of times you have this kind of hand, and that's what equal level conversion is. Why it's called equal level conversion is I bid at the 2 level, and now I'm not forcing you to bid anymore. I'm telling you diamonds or spades. If you just want to play 2 diamonds, you can pass, right? If you have a 10-point hand, 3 diamonds and 3 spades, yeah, we'll just play 2 diamonds. If I did have spades, I could still bid at the 2 level. That's why it's equal level conversion. You can get out at the 2 level. Go ahead.
Do you always have to have 5 diamonds to do that?
No, you could do the same thing if the 7 was missing and it was, you know, over here. But it's better when you have 5 diamonds.
I understand, I was just
Yeah,
wanting to know.
that's like the classic case, but you can, like this is the classic distribution, but like anything, and it's a good question because that's going to come up on our next subject, you can use some flexibility on your bid. You don't always have a bid that fits perfect, right? There's no bridge book that is going to tell you the perfect bid for every situation because there's too many situations and not enough bids.
So to do this, how many points should you have?
Well, enough to open.
Huh? You got 12 there.
Yeah, just an opener.
Oh, wait, just an opener.
That's all I can do it, like,
And it's highly likely you could end up in a 7 card.
yeah, if he happens to have 2 diamonds and 3 spades, sure.
Yeah.
We'd be playing in a 7 card fit.
Yeah.
But here, the key thing, if the 2 diamonds is not a forcing bid when you're playing equal level conversion. If I have a better hand, I would jump, right? Like if I'm sitting there with 17 points and you have 10, I gotta get us to game. Don't bid 2 diamonds, bid 3 diamonds maybe, but show life. But here, I'm not showing life, I'm showing equal level conversion. We're getting that at the 2 level, unless you have like I already told you, I have an opener. If you have an opener also, you get us the game. It's your job. I've already done my job. Okay, any questions on that? And,
Can we go back to the hand before, and it happens, it seems to happen fairly frequently, that situation where you have the 4 hearts and your partner says a spade, how, if he happens to have 4 hearts, how do you find it? That fit?
well, basically, the one trump bid does not deny 4 hearts, right? Because unless
Well, you
I,
can't reverse.
right,
So
exactly, so it doesn't deny it.
it doesn't deny,
So this
right.
guy, if he's has a good, if he's like 5-4, he could bid 2 hearts.
Okay, so now he says, okay, you,
And-
rather than go up the line and do the 4 and then the 5 later, you do the 5 and then come back and do the 4 and say, I'm good enough, 10 points or more, I'm good enough to do that.
Yeah, you could,
In case you happen to have 4 hearts.
and now I know that you, since you bid the spades first, I know you have 5 of them. And if you bid the hearts second, I know you have
Okay.
4 of them.
Okay.
So you could find it still.
And if you were 5-5, you do the hearts first and then did the spades again, you know?
Yeah.
Okay.
The key there is not pushing past the 1 level, right?
Well, the P here is saying, I have a minimal opener. If we're going past the 1 level, it's on you.
Right.
Like, you always want it to be your partner's fault. To get all positive. Okay. We're gonna move on to Stamen, garbage Stamen, and then crawling Stamen. By the way, almost all the really good players, and you see this in the bulletin, their one-no trump bid is 14 plus to an average 17. What does 14 plus mean? Must have something in addition to those 14 points, right? That's why it's 14 plus. Usually, it might be, you have 3 10s, right? That should be worth a point. That's what Marty Bergen teaches. Or you might have a decent 5-card suit. That's worth a point. So basically, you have 15 points, but they don't have to be high card points. So that's why they play 14 plus. And it's more honest if you have somebody who's really looking at what you're doing, like, hey, you only had 14 high card points. So you say 14 plus to an average 17. Why it's an average 17 if you have 17 high card points, and now you have a good 5-card suit, what do you got? 18, too strong. So that's usually the average 17 you could slur because people get lost as soon as you say 14 plus. Anyway, so 1 no trump, and then the Stamen bid, 2 clubs. If you're not playing anything, what should you have to bid Stamen?
8 points.
8 points.
Yeah, right, you should,
4-card mix.
yeah, you should have 8 points if you're not playing anything. Like, you're still, with a decent 8 points, you can invite, although usually if you have exactly 8 points and you're flat, you're going down. Think
If
about-
they've got just 15.
Yeah, and they have 15, a hell of a lot more than they have 17.
Yep.
Because the closer you get to 10, the more likely the bid is. So with a flat 8 points, you have to tread carefully. Because I think it's like 40% of the time you'll make it and 60% you'll go down. But if you have a 5-card suit, now it's 9 points, push it a little. Okay. What I see here, which is a lot of times, which is wrong, I see people sometimes with two-note trump. Don't do that if you play with me.
If you don't have a 4-card major or, but you've got 8, 9 points,
No, I mean,
That's the
back to
opener.
the no trump hitter again, the
That's the
second
no
bid.
trump opener.
One no trump, 2 clubs, 2 no trump.
Two down.
The opener saying it.
I opened 1 no trump, now bid 2 no trump. There's no such bid. Some people do that to show them, well, I'm closer to the 17. I don't care. There's no such bid. There's only 3 bids you can possibly make. 2 diamonds, 2 hearts, and 2 spades. Right, 2 diamonds means I don't have a 4-card major, 2 hearts means 4 plus hearts, 2 spades, 4 plus spades. Like, if my partner has enough to invite, he can invite, otherwise we're done. And the first thing that almost everybody plays is garbage thing. How many points you need for garbage statement?
0.
0, right? Basically garbage, that's why it's called garbage, you have a lousy hand. And why you're bidding is you're telling your partner, if we don't play in one of my suits, I'm not taking any tricks. And you're probably not making 1 no trump with 15 to 17 points and no tricks from me. So you're on your way down if we don't do anything. And what you bid's 1 no trump, you, 2 clubs, and if your partner bids 2 diamonds now, what kind of hand can you have for a garbage statement?
4, 4, 4, 1.
Yeah, that's pretty much the perfect hand. You have 4 spades, we'll give you a jack. Four hearts. And you'll have 4 or 5 diamonds, and maybe a club, right? That's like your perfect hand for garbage statement, right? If you play in one of my suits, I'm gonna trump clubs for you. And I promise the 4th trump, and on our lucky day, we'll have a 4-4 fit. And on an unlucky day, at least I'm gonna give you a couple tricks. As opposed to me not bidding at all, I'm gonna give you 0 tricks if we play in one no trump. That's your typical garbage statement. The point is, you should have at least 4 in both majors, and you should be short in clubs. Like if this is your hand, you're out of luck.
Don't do it.
Yeah, you just gotta pass.
Yeah.
You don't, because you, again, think about your second bid before your first. Like your partner just told you, you know, if you're lucky, it'll work, right? If you're unlucky, which most of the time you will be, right? The shorter you are, the more likely your partner is to have the suit. There's 11 of these diamonds floating around. There's a good chance your partner has 4. Good chance he'll bid them. And you don't want to be playing a 4-2 diamond fit instead of 1 no trump. So you have to pass. You all okay with garbage statement?
Yeah, so what happens on the one your example you have, 1 no trump, 2 clubs, 2 diamonds, pass.
Yeah, well, he
Yeah, with this hand,
Yeah,
right?
pass. You're playing in diamonds. If you bid hearts, you pass. If you bid spades, you pass.
Right.
It's fast.
You're good, you could make one of those three bids, whichever one, you're done. You don't have anything, all you're giving them is, I'll give you a couple suit tricks if you play in my suit, I'll give you 0 tricks if you don't. Or maybe, for some hands, I'll give you 1 if you don't play in my suit, and 3 if we play in my suit. And that brings us to crawling statement. By the way, none of what I teach you is stuff that I dreamt up, right? It wasn't like, what can I think of? Like, you have enough people coming up with stuff, I don't really need to, I just have to find the ones that are useful. And crawling statement, garbage statement, they're all recommended by Larry Cohn. He plays them.
So 0 to 7 points again?
Yeah. Basically, crawling statement is same thing. I got a ready hand and no points. How this goes though, with no trump, you bid 2 clubs, and you have and your partner bids 2 diamonds. And remember, all top 2 diamonds does not show diamonds, right? It just shows I don't have a 4-card major, right? So don't go supporting his diamonds. You might just have 2 of them. And he's not going to be happy to be playing in his 2-card suit. Most people are really not good sports. Anyway, back to crawling statement. You have,
Like the second hand you just put down.
yeah, either of these hands. And what you do is, what crawling statement is, 2 hearts. It's like you said, that's a 0 to 7 point hand, and I'm promising at least 4-4 in both majors. It could be 5-5, it could be 4-5, but I'm promising 4 cards in both majors, and you're telling your partner he's already denied a 4-card major. Pick pass if you want me to play hearts, bid 2 spades if you want to play spades. That's what crawling statement is. There's only 1 bid he has left here. 2 spades or pass. That's what crawling statement is.
Do you play that?
Yeah. And again, you could see it, and Larry Cohen wrote it up, but it's just what I just told you. Basically, and it gives you a place to play when you have those terrible hands. And boy, I'd really like to do something with this hand, right? And even this one, when your partner bids diamonds, you still might use crawling statement on it.
So he may have 4 clubs, 4 diamonds, 3 spades, and 2 hearts. And when you say that 2 hearts, he's gonna say 2 spades.
Correct.
Because he knows now we have at least a 7-card fit. He's not
Right.
gonna leave it in the hearts where he has 2 and only have a 6-card.
No, it's not a drop dead bid, it's a choice. Whichever you like better, go. And if they're the same, you probably bid spades because you want the better hand to be hidden.
Right.
Or maybe you want hearts because you want your hand to be hidden, depends how you look at it.
Are these alertable, Jeff?
Yep,
Yeah, you got alert.
yep, they are alertable. Mhm. Which is always one of my pet peeves, because for me, I can't disagree with the ACBO more where they make the partner alert it. Because your partner's asleep, he won't alert it. And whenever a bid is not alerted, the weaker pair almost always gets the short end of the stick. As
So-
opposed to if the person making the bid alerts it, you don't have wrong information going across the table.
So
But
when-
yes, it's alertable.
So when do you alert?
Well, your partner has to alert your crawling statement bid.
So the one, yeah, that's what I'm saying. So it goes one no trump,
As soon as I did 2 hearts, that's the alertable bid.
okay, that's the alert.
Yeah.
Same for the others, as soon as you, so when you pass 2 diamonds with, garbage statement, who alerts?
I'm not sure if garbage statement is alertable, it's nearly everybody did it, but,
Okay, so the garbage isn't alertable, just crawling.
yeah, I think garbage almost everybody's familiar with, they always change what's alertable or not, so I'm not sure of that. But on crawling, some people play it and some people don't. But it's a handy convention and it's an easy one, right? It's only, hey, choose between the majors.
So when I alert that, I'm also giving my partner information, hey partner, this is crawling, this is not a real statement.
No, your partner's the one who alerted
Yeah,
you.
your partner just alerted you.
He alerted you, and if you haven't done
That's what I'm
it,
asking, who's alerting the two hard bid?
The partner, the person who makes the bid never gets to alert their
Okay,
bid.
so the
Which I
alert
think
is
is
by the
wrong.
opener.
opener, yeah.
Okay, that's what I'm trying to
Yeah,
understand. Okay.
yeah, but I think that's wrong, because that's why you get wrong information coming across the table, and wrong information almost always hurts the weaker pair. First of all, weaker players are not in a hurry to call the director, right? It makes them uncomfortable. Second of all, even when the director comes, they're so nervous, they don't really know what the director said. And then, the pair that gave the wrong information makes out like a bandit. So as opposed to, if you make the alertable bid, alert it. Yeah, sometimes you'll wake up your partner, but I think that's a small price to pay not to have wrong information go across the table. But there's a lot of things I don't like about the ACBO. That's one of the more minor ones.
I'm quite saying though that if your partner fails to alert, then before you start play, you're meant to,
Call the director.
or you don't just say.
Oh, no,
"There's
oh,
been a
your partner fails
Been
to,
a failure to alert.
yeah, if he doesn't alert, you always assume that your partner knows what he's doing, even when you're sure he doesn't. You can play like he does.
Or you just let it go.
So, you can pass or do anything. However, if your partner ends up playing it, but if your side gets up playing it, before any cards are played, you announce that there's a failure to alert, and the defenders can get the director, and they should.
Okay.
Like again, newer players, they won't do it. People who play for blood, they'll do it. It's kind of an unfair system, but yeah. Basically, when your side gets it, you gotta come clean as soon as, when you knew what it is, you gotta come clean. But, the others, when you're on defense though and they fail to alert, then you don't come clean. If you're on defense and your partner failed to alert a bid, now you can't come clean because now you are waking up your asleep partner, maybe. But you have to come clean when the deal's over on defense.
Oh, okay.
You have to come clean eventually, but when you declare, and your side is, or your partners declare, you come clean before any cards are played, as soon as the auction ended. When you're on defense, and one of you failed to alert, you don't say anything until the last card's played, and then you come clean.
On the same line, they ask your partner what that bid meant, and he gives bad information. When do you correct that?
It's the same thing, you can't
Before
correct it.
before the first card is played?
Right. You can't correct it during the auction. You know, one of my favorites
But
is,
before you begin to play, it needs to be.
right, you gotta come,
Right.
when you're the declarer. On defense, you come clean when it's over,
Oh,
but not before because you're telling your partner, hey, you dope, you missed this, you know,
yeah.
but,
Okay.
but yeah, it's, these are fairly common, and you could see why. Like, these are hands that are worth nothing if you're playing in no trump, and they're worth tricks when you're not. And sometimes, you know, you might bend them a little more than other times. Okay, what I really wanted to get into, but I don't think we can cover this in 5 minutes, so I'll just tell you, well, where we're starting, where we'll go next week. We're going to talk about 2 defensive hands. One of them where you need to hold up on defense, and one of them where you need to take them in situations that come up fairly regularly.
You talking about whether you're doing
On
passive or,
defense. No,
passive or aggressive defense?
no, it doesn't have anything to do with passive or aggressive. It has to do with whether to hold up or not hold up.
Oh, hold up, okay, yeah,
On-
okay.
The partner leads the suit, and you have, or the defense leads the suit, and you, as declarer or the partner, either hold up or take the trick. And you can see when you would hold up and when you wouldn't. And typically, one thing, since we got a couple more minutes, that I always do, kind of get off that subject a little bit on defense. Your partner has that in the suit. And you have to say that in the suit, same suit, right? Doesn't matter what it is. And you need to get over there. What I do on a regular basis is what? There's 2 ways I could do it, right? I could play low toward the queen and pray, right?
Yep.
That the ace is in front of it. I don't usually do that. What do I usually do?
Play the king,
Play the king.
drive out the ace. Hopefully.
Well, again, it depends who you're playing against. There's some people, as soon as they see the king on the table, they can't get the ace out of their hand fast enough, right?
Aces were meant to take kings.
Well, usually, but if the ace is over here, and you see that that's an entry on the board, don't take the king.
That's right.
You can't let them, part of it is, think what declare is trying to do, right? Declare is not your friend when you're on defense. What's good for declare is not good for you. So, a common thing now, it's what Cheryl said, when they see the king, that's a famous saying, right? Aces are meant to take king, I'm sure you've all heard it. Well, there's the king, bam! And the problem is, you just gave him an entry where there wasn't one. And if you have a good player, or even a moderately good player, lead the king out of their hand, you could bet they want you to take your ace, right? Like they didn't fall asleep like, I'll play the king, you know, maybe I'll make them both. That won't work. Like if the ace is over here, now you have a harder decision, right? Because now you know the queen's going to be an entry anyway, unless this guy only has those. So if you could count the hand, you might even hold up over here. But for most of us, if I have the ace here, I'm letting you make the king and the queen. Okay, Thanks for coming. I'll see you next month.
Let's go change, I'm gonna go change.
Thank you, Jeff.
I'm gonna go change my vote. You got the
Don't
paper.
hit me.
Okay.